Hello class 9, this is computer class and today we will continue our chapter number 8 mathematical library function. In my Zoom class I explained you about these mathematical library functions and I told you that I will share the video. So this is the video of those programs which I had already explained you. So now today, first of all, we will discuss the programs related to our math function, math class. In math class, first of all, we will see the program based on max function and min function. So what is the program? In this program, what we have to do, we have to write a program to input two numbers and we have to find out which one is smaller and which one is larger number. Okay, so you all know that in max function and in min function we are passing two arguments, and among those arguments we have to find out which value is maximum and which one is minimum. So for that purpose, first of all, we will import our util package. In util package, we will import the scanner class so that we can give the input, and input can be read by the scanner class. Okay, after importing the scanner class, we will declare the class. My class name is math class, and you can give any other name also for your class, for your function and for your variables. So here I declared the class math class, and then function name is max min, because we have to derive here maximum and minimum values. Now after it we will create the object for scanner class. My object name is SC. This name can be also different. So how we can create the object of a scanner class? What is the syntax? Scanner, then object name equal to new. By using this new keyword, it will allocate the memory for your inputs. New scanner system.in. After creating the object, we will declare the variables which we require in this program. So of course, we require two variables for the input of two numbers for two arguments, n1 and n2. Now we have to store which number is maximum, and means which number is larger and which number is smaller. To store those two answers, we want two more variables. These are maxm and minim. Now we will give the message to the user to enter these numbers. So first message, enter first number. After getting this message, user will enter the input in variable n1. So n1 is equals to sc.next double. So I already told you that now we will give the inputs with the help of object of this scanner class. So that's why we will write n1 equal to sc.next double. Next double, why? Because these variable n1 and n2 are of double type. So we will write here next double. Now second message, to enter the second number, then we will input this second number in variable n2 with the help of object sc.next double. Now we have to find out maximum number, larger number. So we will store in variable maxm. How? We have one function, math.max, in which we will pass those two arguments in the form of two numbers. So how we will write? Maxm equal to math.max, and in bracket we will write, we will pass two arguments, n1 and n2. Now minim, math.min, we will use which function? Min function, math.min function. And here again we will pass two arguments, n1 and n2. Among these two we have to find out which one is a smaller number. So after using max and min function, we can find out which one is maximum, which one is larger number, and which one is smaller number. After finding it, we will print the output by using system.out.println statement. with the message the larger number is maxm and the smaller number is minm. So which value we will calculate here with the help of max function? It will store in the variable maxm, and which value we will calculate, which value we will find out with the help of min function, that will store in minm. So in this way we can find out from those two given numbers which one is smaller and which one is larger. Now we will compile the program. You can see here, after the compilation, there is no syntax error. Now we will run this program. So for that purpose, we will create the object, math class. Right click here. This is my function, maxmin. Now we have to enter first number. Both are of double type, so I can give any decimal number. I have given here 6.7. Now the second number is 5.9. So larger number is 6.7 and smaller is 5.9. So it find out and it has shown you the output also. Now we will see the next question. Okay, so now the next question is pow function. So what you have to do in this question, you have to write a program to find out the square and cube of a given number. Okay, this is your question. You have to input a number, and for that number you have to find out the square and cube of that number. Okay, it means square means power 2 and cube means power 3. So I will first write the question, write a program to calculate square and cube of the given, not given, but first of all we will input, write a program to input a number and calculate square and cube of that number. Number is not given because, but we have to give the input of that number. Okay, so now what we will do, first of all, again we will in the same way we will import the util package scanner class. Then we will declare the class. Class name is pow function, because square and cube we can find out with the help of pow function only. After that we will write the function name square cube. This is my function name. You can write here any other name also. Then we will create the object of the scanner class so that we can give the input scanner sc new scanner system dot in. Now we will declare the variables. First variable which we want, first of all, at least one variable we want to input the number, that is num. Then second variable we want to store the square of that given number, and third one to store the cube of that number. Okay, now we will give the message to user that enter the number. After that user will give the number and it will store in the variable num. How we can give the input? With the help of object sc. So how we will write num equal to sc dot next double, because num is of double type. Now we will calculate square. Square means that number raised to the power 2. So what we will use for power? We will use function pow, math.pow. Here in pow function also we are using two arguments. First argument will behave for as the base and second one for the exponent. Okay, so number will be same. Number is base, but the power is here 2. So num comma 2. These two arguments we will pass. It will calculate the square of that number. Next, cube we have to find out. So cube equal to math.pow. Base will be same because for that same number we have to find out the cube, but the power will be change. Here power will be 3 because we have to find out the cube. Now after these calculations we have to print it also. So we will write here system.out.println the square of the number square and cube of number is stored in the variable cube. So these both we will print. Now what we have to do, we have to now compile. What we have done here, first of all we will enter the number and then we will use by using the pow function we will find out the square and cube of both the number and finally we will print them. Now we will compile, no syntax error, so we can run it. For that, first of all create the object. After creating object, right click, click on function. Now we have to enter the number. What is the number? I will give in decimal form 6.1. So what is this square? You know that simple 6 6 ja 36. Obviously it will be little bit more, 37 point this and cube will be 6.1. You know that 6 6 ja 36 and 36 2 ja sorry is 36 6 ja. So it will be little bit more than that also. This is the square and this is the cube of 6.1. Okay. So in this way you can find out the square and cube of any given number. Now in my third program, I will explain you here. What is the question here? Here again we have to enter the number, enter any number, and we have to find out the absolute value, square root of that number, cube root of that number, ceiling value and floor value of that number, and also round value. Okay. I think of absolute value, you all know that. Absolute value means if the number is positive or negative, it will return the positive number, positive value only. If your argument type is in integer, then of course it will return in integer. If it is in double decimal form, then it will return in decimal form. Square root, which number you will pass here, it's a square root, it will return. And cube root means which number you will pass, it will return its cube root. Ceiling value, I explained you in my class and in my video that ceiling value will return you the next next larger value, like if it is 3.7, next integer value 4, so it will return 4.0, means return type will also always be the decimal. Okay, and if it is 3.1, then also next integer is 4, so it will return in that case also 4.0. Okay, but 0.0 only it will return. 3.1 to 3.9, it will return only 4.0. And in this case, in the floor value, next next lowest value for 3.1, next lowest integer is, if we will remove this point, we will get 3.0, and from 3.9 also it will return 3.0. Okay, next lowest value it will return by using floor function. And a round value will simply, it will give you the round off. For 3.1 it will give 3, and 3.9 it will give 4, but integer value it will return, it will give the answer in integer or long, not in decimal form. Okay, if your argument type is of double type, then it will return in long integer. And if your argument type means which type of input you are giving, that is of float type, then it will return the answer in integer type. Okay, so these were the detail about these function math.abs, math.sqrt, math.cbrt, math.sil, math.floor, and math.round. Now, I am writing here the question so that you will not face any doubt. Right. program to input a number and calculate its absolute value, comma, next we are finding its square root, next we are finding cube root, and then we are finding ceiling value. Okay, and we are also finding its floor value, and finally we are finding round off value. Okay, so these all we have to find out. First of all, we have to input a number and calculate its absolute value, square root, cube root, ceiling value, floor value, and round off values. This is your question. So again, we will, first of all, we will import the util package scanner class. Then this is my class name. After the class, we will write the function name, calculate here. And then we will create the object for scanner class. My object name is here again SC, scanner SC, new scanner system.in. This is the syntax to create the object. Then we will write here the variables which we want in this program. So here I want one variable to input the number. So I have taken here only one variable num. Outputs we will print directly with the help of println function and with the help of math function. So now first of all I will give here the message to user, enter the number for which we have to find out these values, and then user will give the input and variable num equal to sc.next double. Next, system.out.println I am using here directly. I am calculating here with the help of this mathematical function, and directly I am printing here also with the help of println function along with the message. First message is the absolute value of num. So it means it will give the absolute value of which number we will enter here. Suppose I am giving here num equal to, in num variable I am if I will enter here 2.7. So what it will give here? The absolute value of 2.7 equals to, and then it will start here calculation with the help of ABS function. Okay, so it will find out the absolute value for num, because we are passing here in the argument what we are passing, num. Next, square root of, again it will pass give this message, the square root of num. Square root of, suppose my number is 2.7, so square root of 2.7. Then how it will calculate? With the help of math.sqrt. In the same way, with the help of math.cbrt, it will calculate the cube root of that number. And with the help of math.sil function, it will calculate ceiling value of that number. Then for math.floor, it will calculate floor value. And with the help of math.round, it will calculate the round of that number. It will round off that number, and it will print also these all calculated values. So now I will run this. First of all, compile, no syntax error. So I will now run this program. This is my function object. Right click. This is my function calculate. Okay, so here I have to enter the number. Suppose that my number is 2.7. Okay, enter. All the values it is printing to absolute, because 2.7 is already a positive number. So it is printing here 2.7 only. Square root of 2.7, this is cube root, this one. And ceiling value, what I told you, for 2.7 or 2.1, both it will show 3.0 only. Okay, next integer 0.0. And floor value, okay, next lowest integer, that is 2 and 2.0. Round off, you know that 2.7 means more than 2.5, it will print 3 only. Okay, so now same program I am running again with different values. Okay, this time I will enter 7.1. Now you can see the changes also. Absolute value, of course, it will be positive. Then these that I want to show here, this is ceiling value of 7.1 or 2.7, means 0.7 or 0.1. It will return the next integer 0.0. And for a round off, next least integer 0.0. And round off, how you can find out for 2.7, more than 2.5 now, so it is 3. And here 7.1 means 0.1 is less than 5, so it will print 7. Okay, now again I am running here one more time. I want to show you something. Okay, enter the number. I will enter here now negative number, minus 2.0. Now let's see what answer it is giving. 2.0 minus, it is the argument is in minus type, so of course it will convert into plus absolute value. But square root is showing here what? Nan means it is showing some error. So we cannot find out the square root of any negative number. Remember that, okay? Because when we are calculating square root, negative into negative, positive. Ceiling value in minus it is. So it is showing in minus only. Okay. This is the answer. So in this way, I explained you all the mathematical functions. All the mathematical function means which are in your syllabus, max, min, and I also explained you absolute value, ceiling value, floor value, and how can you find out the square root, cube root. These all I explained you how you can calculate. Now this is the homework. Already we discussed in the class also. So first homework is which program. Just now I explained you those all programs you have to do in your computer notebook. And from your book, page number 168, some assignments are given. From those assignments, question number 1, these parts you have to do: A, C, D, E, G, H, I, J, K, L, and M. You will do these all, okay? And page number 169, this is question number 2. Such type of question already you have done in chapter 5, operators and expression. Convert into Java expression. So you can do it. And these 3 are your homework. And some programs, solved programs are given in your book that also you will read and try to understand. Okay, this is your homework. And this is the syllabus for your second term. Already we discussed it in our class. Chapter 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. 6 is not now in your syllabus. And these 5 chapters are currently for the second unit test. Okay. So this is for today's class. So do your work and have a great day. Thank you.